Melissa, Lori, and Kelly. Kaylin is a new member of our chamber as of this week, so we're super excited to have her. She's with Kapow Social Branding, and she is a guru in the world of online social media and marketing in your businesses. I'm super excited to have her. I've received a lot of feedback from our members with questions about social media and what they can be doing in light of the current crisis to stay relevant with their customers, especially if their storefront has been closed. So in addition to ramping up their website and what they're able to offer, social media is a big one in getting your customers to know that you're out there, that you're open, you're available, and just some tips and tricks of what you should be considering to do if you aren't already doing, and some things that you might be doing that you just have some questions about. So I did receive some questions in advance that I sent over to Kaylin. So she's going to touch base on those as well. Feel free to use the chat feature down at the bottom. And you are also allowed to chime in if you have a question. And Kaylin's going to leave some time at the end to also answer some questions live. So with that, Kaylin, I'm going to hand it over to you, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm excited. My favorite topic. So actually, we were just before you ladies came and joined us, we were actually just talking a little bit about just previous pandemics, historical events like the Spanish flu and the plague, and kind of the difference between our pandemic and that, and really obviously there are many differences, but one of the biggest differences that is apparent to me is the fact that we have the internet and we have social media, and there's kind of a comfort in a way that we can connect instantly and in ways that they didn't have access to in that time. So we're all kind of dealing with the same enemy, and the global impact is kind of scary and uncertain, but one thing that is interesting is right now all the eyeballs are on us, or on your businesses, because everyone is doing this more than ever. More people are at home, more people are in front of their computers and in front of their phones, and you have a bigger audience than you've had in the past. So there's really opportunity to take advantage of that. And what does it mean really for your business? We can't predict the future, obviously, but we do know that this is a time where you can step up to the plate and you can address your audience and those who might be interested in what your company is doing. And you can take advantage of all the people who are on their phones. And, even just doing a little bit every week, every day, could be doing more than what your competitors are doing. And you may not see immediate impact right now, because especially with organic social, it takes a bit of time with the content. But if you build up your content strategy now, you're going to be so much further ahead than those that aren't doing anything that right now, or who are just kind of stuck and don't know what to do, don't know what to say, or who are afraid to sell, quite frankly, because the way the conditions are. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but today I just wanted to kind of dive into three main areas. And then of course, as we go along, definitely, I'm open to let's be interactive. If there's questions that you have, please chime in with the chat and ask your questions. But the areas I wanted to cover were the 3 E's of killer content, and I'll explain what those are, strategies for content, and then also some branding and free tools that I wanted to share. My goal is that everyone here has at least one actionable step and takeaway that you can use today, right now, or tomorrow, or next week in your business, but something literally that you can just take and use. Take some value and use it right away and apply it to your business. So if that's cool with you, does that work for you? If that's good for you, I'm sure you're shaking your head. I can't see you, but I'm sure you think it's great. So I'll start with the killer content. I think someone else just joined us. It sounded like a teleport in.
Welcome. Is that Lori?
All right, so the 3 E's of killer content. So what they are entertain, educate, and engage. But before I kind of get into those, I kind of want everyone to think a little bit about who your favorite person or brand is to follow on social media. Kind of get it in your head. So, we all follow different people. So person or brand, who do you like to follow? Actually go ahead and share it with us. Drop it in the chat. Just who do you like to follow? Brand, person, it could be a celebrity, it could be a company, it could be a business person, it could be on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Who do you like to follow? All right, so we have Dan Pink, Arctic Fox, hair color. Oh, okay. And their founder. Okay. All right, so we have a couple there. All right, so okay. All right. So we're getting a few. All right. So the person in mind that you have, Hillary Duff. Okay. So why do you love following them? Think about why you love following them. Are they constantly posting sales pitches? Are they constantly saying, hey, come on down and buy this thing right now because we want to sell it to you? Probably not. It's likely because you connect with them. For whatever reason, there is something that you are inspired by them, or they make you laugh. You see them as a real person, and so it resonates with you because that's kind of cool. They entertain you. You learn something. You get value because you are in that industry. Maybe the Arctic Fox, you are learning something from that page. So whatever the reason is, you're learning, you're inspired, you're getting entertainment value. And once in a while, they may post something that they are making an ask of some sort, or selling something, and it's not going to be obnoxious or annoying because you're a part of that community, you're already following them, and quite frankly, if they're selling socks, you may even buy them because you love them. But you're already into the brand. So kind of that's what we need to do, and that's what you need to do for your clients. You need to make them fall in love with you, with the value that you're providing with them. You need to entertain them. You need to give them value. You need to inspire them. You can't go in every day with, come on down and buy the thing, or give me a call and I'll sell the thing today. Every day can't be a sales pitch. There's a book by Gary Vaynerchuk called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And the whole premise of the book is for every time you give, or every time you make an ask, which is the right hook, you need to come in with 3 values. So 3 jobs. So we're going to talk about the value content, but just remember that when you are creating the content, you don't want people to unfollow really fast, right? Because you would be unfollowing Dan and Manny and Hillary and Arctic Fox. We would be unfollowing really fast if all they did every day was just trying to sell you something. So think about, and I have someone calling me. There we go for live video. Oh my gosh, don't show up on the screen, because I have that connected to screen thing. But so think about that, and start thinking about what value you can provide your clients. So, for example, screen enclosures, or garage doors, every day, you may not post about, most value for your page if you can get people to interact with your page. If you're just posting things and they're not responding back, is a good gauge of if they're involved with your content. So ask questions, ask their advice, try to get feedback from the community. You want to get them to have buy-in and respond back to you. But then when you've given 3 bits of value, 3 jobs, then give them the right hook, then come in and make the ask. And the ask is anything. It's not necessarily a hard ask. It's not buy the thing right now. It could be, but it could also be, join our email list. It could be, join our webinar. It could be give us a call. If you have any questions, here's our phone number, give us a call. Whatever that is to you, but mix it up so it's not the same kind of sales pitch every day. It's something that they're going to come back to and be interested in on a daily basis. So some strategies for content.
Queso in a minute.
Did someone have a question? Okay. All right. So I wanted to go next on some strategies for content. So a couple of different ideas. So one thing that a lot of people run into is, what the heck do I post on social media every day, right? Because sometimes that can get a little overwhelming. We were talking a little bit before everyone started coming in that it could be like a full-time job. And sometimes it's, oh darn, did I post something today? Did I post something this week? And it becomes very reactive. So one idea is, definitely to plan out your content. I'll get to that in a minute, but some ideas for the content to plan out. What do you plan out? Something I love to do is called domino content. And what that is you have one thing that you've already created, and that could be a blog post, it could be a white paper, it could be a video, it could be something, it could be a brochure, something from your company that's already created. Information on your company, it's already created, it's already done, right? So you have the first domino. All you need to do is knock over the first domino and you have the rest of your content. And what I mean by that is, once you have the first thing, you can create multiple things from that first bit of content. So let's say it's a video. Say you have, you're the business owner and you created a video talking about your product. Okay, boom. From that, you can then turn around and you can write a blog. From the blog, you can go and you can pull out some quotes, and then you can take the quotes and you could, turn the quotes into, a pretty little graphic. Or speaking of graphics, say you had statistics in there, you could create a statistical graphic and post that. Or if it's a longer video, you could chop it up into smaller bits and make, smaller videos and post those. So really, these are all just ideas, but really it's unlimited. With one bit of content, you can create tons and tons and tons of content. Another idea is national holidays. So this is something I love as a great filler. Obviously there's, the regular, national holidays we all know and love, Thanksgiving and 4th of July and New Year's Day. But I mean, did you know when National Unicorn Day is? Because it's April 9th. That's actually my daughter's birthday. But there's literally a national holiday for everything you can think of. And there will probably be many national holidays that actually relate to your business. And there'll be some that don't relate to your business at all, but probably will be really engaging, and be something that your followers will be interested in engaging with. For example, there are a few different like National Pet Day ones, right? So for a National Pet Day, everyone who in your office, your company, could submit a picture of their pet. And it could be like, guess whose pet is who, or here's all the office pets. That may have nothing to do with your business, but it's something that's personal and it's something that people are going to relate to. Whenever there's a pet post, people just lose their minds. They really do. And so something like that is totally fun content. So there's a website, nationalholidaycalendar.com. In fact, hang on. I'll drop that in the chat, but nationalholidaycalendar.com. If you go to that, literally every day of the month, you can find something there to fill in and create something. And there'll always be something that relates back to your business. There'll always be something fun that you can create content from. Pinterest is definitely not dead. Yeah, there was a lot of Pinterest going on 10 years ago, but it's alive and well. Pinterest is a great place to draw ideas from. There's fun quotes and inspiration and memes. You can get a lot of that from Pinterest, and you can kind of put your own unique spin on it and recreate it. Obviously, if it's a quote, you want to attribute it to the person that said it. We don't want to we can, we can gently use different ideas, but we never want to steal. So we want to, attribute, authors, but there's so many ideas that you can take from Pinterest that you can use for your business. And then, of course, one of the biggest ones, and definitely one of the scariest ones for most, is going live. Right now, as far as organic content, right, because there's two types of content, organic and paid content. Organic is, it's a lot harder to get traction with organic content because, of course, Facebook, it's a business and they want you to pay, but you can definitely make a huge impact with organic content. It just, you have to be a little bit more strategic and it takes a little bit more time. But a way to fast track it a little bit is to do videos and especially go live. And I guarantee if in your strategy you work in going live once a week, even if it's for a few minutes doing a Q&A, answering questions about your business, or even just a, hey, here's what's going on during quarantine, or hey, here's when we expect to be back open, or whatever that is, just for a few minutes, that is so powerful. Whenever you go live, it alerts people who are following you and tells them that you're going on live, so it's instant engagement right to your page. And especially if you do something, if you post in your tagline something juicy, not just, hey, I'm going live, but if you write like, oh, when, here's the date we might be open again, or whatever, something that is going to lead them to, oh, I better, find out what this date is and go watch that video. It's going to draw them in and you're going to get a lot more engagement on your page. So, and if you're afraid to do this, you can also practice on your personal profile. There's a little trick. So if you go in your personal profile and set to go live, but then set to the audience as just me, you can actually go live and you're the only person that's seeing it. And afterwards, if you like it, you can post it. Now, it's only on your personal profile that you can do that, but it's a good way to kind of train yourself to get there before you're ready to actually do it for really real if you're a little timid. So it's a nice little trick. Now, as far as scheduling content, one of the things you'll want to do, and we were talking with Kelly before, who has time to do this all week, right? So one of the things I recommend is either once a month or once a week, depending on what your schedule and flows allows. Sit down, plan out the days, and come up with your content for each day. Look at fill it in with holidays, fill it in with employee announcements, hiring announcements, product launches, showcasing different things at your company, whatever it is, but fill it all out. And then pre-schedule your content out for the week, for the month. Pre-schedule it out. Just sit down for, an afternoon and schedule it out for the whole week, for the whole month, and be done with it and be done. And then not have to worry, not have to be reactive, not wonder every day, oh my gosh, did I post something? I haven't posted anything for a week. Or no, you don't have to worry. It's done. And the cool thing is you can check on your analytics and determine what the best time to post is. That was one of the questions that I had gotten. You can actually determine the best time to post based on the analytics and when your highest probability of engagement will be. So you can say, oh, I know at 9 o'clock in the morning is when the most people are going to see this. That's when I'm going to schedule my posts every day this week, which is pretty cool. So that's, you can plan it in advance instead of just posting it whenever you get to it during the day. Totally, this is a huge thing to really take so much time and stress off your plate. I really recommend this. If you're doing this in Facebook, Facebook has a free tool to do this. If you go to your page and then at the top of your page it says schedule, you can pre-schedule out your posts through Facebook. Just set them all up for free. Or if you're using other platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, etc. There's Hootsuite, Later, and Buffer. They have free versions. They also have paid versions as well. But you can use those and, again, pre-schedule it out and then not worry about your content. Just go and be free and run your business and know that everything is going out for the week or month and you don't have to worry about it. And then if there is something important along the way that you have to announce or do, still do it, but you don't have to worry each day is something going out there, scheduling my content. That being said, it's not a perfect solution. We only have so much time, so I won't get too deep down the rabbit hole, but you always want to go back and engage on your page if you have time to, respond to questions, answer people. So, obviously it's not a send it and forget it. You want to respond to anything that people are doing on your page as well. And then since we're running out of time, also one of the things I wanted to get to is branding and free tools. So I don't know how many of you, and I apologize if you do, may or may not know about Canva. But Canva is an amazing free graphic design tool. You can put it on your phone, you can put it on your computer. You do not need to be a professional graphic designer. It's totally drag and drop. There are free templates, and you can create your own thing. But the great thing about Canva is you can totally now brand yourself and your company so that you have a consistent look. One thing that you may like when you go on, like say Instagram, for a brand that you follow, is they have the same, every time you see that brand, it's them before you see the logo or the name of the brand, because the colors are the same, the pictures are they have the same look, the same feel. You can do that. You can replicate that without having to spend a lot of money. You do have to spend a little bit of time. It does take a little bit of time to learn it, but you don't have to spend a lot of money except for your time, which is money. I get it. But what I would suggest is pick 2 or 3 colors that you like, either from your logo or that you feel represents your company, 2 or 3 fonts that you want to use consistently, and then from that, create on Canva. Always use those colors, always use those fonts, be consistent, and you'll create a consistent brand image again and again. And that's where, when you go to Pinterest, when you go to the national days of the month, you can pull that information and create something in Canva. When you go to your Domino content and you pull a quote out of that video or brochure, or create that infographic, you can do it in Canva. It is an amazing tool. Hopefully you may all know about it and be like, Kaylin, we know about this, but if not, please check it out. Get it for free. There's an upgraded version too. You can get a pro version, but the free version will get it done just as well. And then there were a few questions that Samantha had sent over. So I want to get to those as well in the time that we have. Because some of them I thought were pretty neat. So one of them was, my business page has likes and then followers. What is the difference between these? Because I have way more followers than I have likes. Is that good? And this is a really good question. So the best way to explain this is kind of the same way you would be friends with a individual or follow an individual, right? So you can be friends with someone and you can also follow someone. If you're friends with someone, you can also unfollow them so you don't see their posts. Maybe they're posting a lot of stuff you don't want to see, but you don't want to hurt their feelings, but you're still friends. Kind of the same thing with pages. You can like a page, but you can unfollow the page. So you like the page, but you're not seeing the content. Or you can follow the page. You're seeing all the content from the page, but your name is not associated with the page on your page where it says the things that you like. It doesn't say that you like that. It's a little confusing, but that's kind of the main difference. So you can, if you like it, you can like it and follow it, or you can like it and unfollow it. Kind of the same way you can with a friend versus just following it, you're just following it, if that makes sense. And then I had someone ask, I only have a Facebook page for my business. Is it better to also be on things like Instagram and Twitter? Do these social medias have a specific purpose? So So yes and no. So there's kind of several answers to the question. That depends on the strategy and the audience, and frankly, how much time you have to show up. So if you only have time to really just, really do an awesome job with your Facebook, then just spend time on your Facebook. If you have time to put into your Instagram and it fits with your audience and your strategy, by all means, get into Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, etc. But if you are just creating them just to create them because you think you need to have them, but you're not providing content, you're not engaging, you're not participating in the community platform, it's wasteful. It's a wasteful use of your time, really, especially if you're putting it on your website, those little buttons that says follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn and da, 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 da. If you put that on there and someone goes to your page and they click on that and they go to your Twitter account and the last time you posted on Twitter was like a year ago, that's not good. So if you're going to have different platforms, then you need to invest in the time to have a strategy and utilize them. So it totally depends on your business. It depends on your strategy. It depends on your audience and who you're trying to engage. If you don't have time to do all of these different platforms, my advice is to just pick one or two that you can really focus on and spend your efforts on those. And don't feel like you have to do everything and be everywhere, because you don't. You really don't. You just have to nail it and be in front of the audience that you need to be on the platform that your audience is at, if that makes sense. Also, what I would caution against, we talked about scheduling posts. Be careful if you are using a scheduler. One size doesn't fit all with scheduling out posts, right? So if you create content and you're like, I'm just going to create one thing and I'm going to stick it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn, and I'm just going to put it everywhere, one size doesn't fit all. So what I mean by that is, say it's a blog post. A blog post may perform really well on LinkedIn or Facebook, but it's not really going to do a lot for you on Instagram. Same thing, you may post something a really cool picture image on Instagram and have amazing hashtags that are on point, that are going to direct the right audience to that page. However, if you then reroute it to Facebook with like 12 hashtags, it's going to look sloppy and it's going to look immature because, amateur, because on Facebook, you really don't want to have a whole bunch of hashtags. Hashtags don't make sense on Facebook. Maybe one or two if you're doing a certain campaign, but really you don't want to have a bunch of hashtags on Facebook. It doesn't look good, and there's really no point for them. I mean, how many times do you go on Facebook and you search hashtags such and such? You don't. Most of likely you're not doing that, so don't do that. So be careful with kind of a one size fits all. And then another one was, I've noticed I have a lot more likes on my posts when I post in the morning as opposed to later in the day. Is there a way to see if there's a better time of the day for us to post? So yes, so that's an algorithm working for you. So what that means is your followers are most engaged in the morning at that time of the day. So you have the best probability of engagement in the morning if you post in the morning. So it may fluctuate month to month, and the best way to check that out is to pull your analytics. And to do that for Facebook, you would click on the Insights tab on Facebook. And then you would go down and it will say, there's like a little kind of a drop box, and you can schedule out a time frame and pull like a billion-page report and kind of sift through it. It will tell you, or kind of an easier way, if you are using a scheduling tool, most of the scheduling tools will tell you a lot quicker when the best time to post for your page is. Like, for example, I know, like, by click of a button, my scheduling tool, it just says 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. There's a 67% chance of probability that I will reach people at 3 o'clock. So I don't have to go through like literally a 400-page spreadsheet on Facebook, but which you can. So it will tell you that in the analytics. Same thing with Instagram. There's analytics in your Instagram. It's a little bit more friendly. It will tell you day to day the hours that your followers are likely on. So it's a little bit more user friendly on the analytics there. I know I kind of rushed through the questions, but do you have any other questions? Because I know we're kind of going over time. And I want to make sure that we all have a takeaway. What do you think, what's a takeaway that has been most helpful for you? What can you use right away? Information dump. So if you go back and think about it, sometimes it comes back and you're like, oh yeah, I can use that.
I think your 3 E's of entertain, educate, and engage are super helpful. It makes you think back to the people that you do and the pages that you do follow and what attracts you to them.
Yeah. It's so true, because you're not going to follow someone who just constantly buy the thing, buy the thing, buy the thing.
Yeah. For sure.
I love the national holiday calendar, because I get so mad sometimes if I miss one. I didn't know there was an actual calendar out there, so I'm definitely going to use that. Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. It's like, I love every month I go through it and I'm like, oh, National Pancake Day is coming.
I got a lot out of this. This was great. Thank you, Kaylin.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Samantha.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm also going to stick another link in the chat. This is for if anyone is interested. Oh, thank you, Lori. So this is a link, a Thriving Business Bundle. I'm in a mastermind with a bunch of other marketers from across the United States. Rachel Peterson is our mentor. And with everything going on with the pandemic, we got together and we put together a bunch of content and templates and tools in one bundle for business owners that you can use right now type of thing. There's a content converter and a 365-day calendar of content, a visibility challenge, email marketing, how do you set up Google My Business, how to use YouTube ads, LinkedIn, checklist, training. I mean, there's tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff that we put together. So if that is of interest to anyone, I'm going to put the link in the chat. But there's 32 different trainings in there. And we set it for a low price of, this is not supposed to be a sales thing, but I just wanted to give it to you as a resource of $47. So if anyone is interested, you can take a look at that. But it's more so, to help if you want to kind of jump in and do even more, kind of do it yourself, dive in. There's like tons and tons of resources in there. I've actually been using a lot of it myself the past month, especially the Trello content calendar is awesome. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, and if there's anything I can help you with, feel free to reach out to me, through Samantha, through the chamber. I'd love to be able to answer, any other questions that you have that might help.
Awesome. Thank you, Kaylin. I appreciate it. Absolutely. And as I said, Kaylin is now a member of our chamber, so hopefully we'll be seeing her maybe in person down the road once we're able to do some of those things. But thank you so much for taking the time today. And if anybody else has any questions, I think we're good.
Alrighty.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh,
thank you, ladies.
It's Canva, C-A-N-V-A, Canva.
Perfect.
Sorry, just want to make sure you saw that.
Yes, Canva. Yes.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Talk soon, Kaylin.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.